Hey guys, what's up? Jose Savalza with the Making an Impact podcast, and today I'm with my friend David Douglas. David is the owner of Brick by Brick, which is a gym that I go to here locally in Palmdale. We're going to get into that as to how he started it, but also what really caught my attention, David, was the fact that you also host a mental health group or meeting a couple of times a week in the gym, and we'll kind of get into that. But a little bit about David, guys, just so you know. David's a retired military veteran. He is a Marine Corps veteran, so happy Veterans Day. I know that we just had that a couple of days ago. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate that.
But let's go ahead and get started. So tell us a little bit about Brick by Brick. I can tell you what it means to me, and what it means to me is a home outside of home. And I mean that sincerely because I like a certain style of gym. I've been to your Impact, not Impact. I've been to your InShapes, your 24-hour fitnesses, and they're really good gyms, but they're very commercial. And just something about when I was first introduced to not only you, but the gym itself, it just kind of gave you, to me, it was like a homey feel. And when I'm at home, I'm comfortable. When I'm at home, I can be myself. And I feel like I live better. And besides that, you have an awesome group of people there that are just motivating each other and helping each other lift more. But tell us, how did all that start for you?
First of all, I didn't think that I'd get to this part where I'm owning a gym where I have memberships. It first started with me just training people out of my garage in 2016. And as that grew, we grew out of the space, and that's where we first landed into our first brick and mortar in 2017. That's when I started adding members onto my training, because I was training clients, but then I also allowed open gym. But why I wanted to have that space is because of the InShapes and the 24s. There's people for that, but I feel like there's also people who have gym anxiety and stuff like that didn't want that. So I want to take all the stuff that I didn't like about commercial gyms and kind of suck that out. And I would get gym anxiety, even myself. I was a competitive powerlifter, but still I would feel some type of anxiety when I went into commercial gyms. So I felt like taking some of the Marine Corps things of the camaraderie and having like support and having people behind you, I wanted to implement that into a gym setting where it feels like a family and it feels like there's some unity behind it. So that way when you walk in the door, people are asking how you're doing, what's your name, stuff like that, and go about your business when there's not any random competition and stuff that you would feel maybe in a commercial gym. I just want to remove that. So I felt like that was the start of the mission of building Brick by Brick.
You know, and it's nice to hear you say that there's family, because every time I see you and every time I go in there at the time you're there, you're always the first one to say hi. And again, that just makes me feel at home and comfortable. You know, but one thing that really appealed to me was besides the people, besides the energy and the culture that you're building there, is just the way the gym is set up. It's very old school. It's that iron. It's the noises that it makes, the clink, the clank of the weights as they go down and up. I love that. And again, maybe it's my age that I'm I'm sharing here with everybody, right? But to me, that's what a gym is.
Yeah.
You know, the big rubber weights that a lot of the commercial gyms use now. I'm sure a lot of it's for safety reasons, but again, it just doesn't go up as cool as the weights in your gym goes. But one thing I did notice, David, is the fact that you also have different weights. You have the normal big 45 pounders, like if you're doing bench press, but then you have like a red colored, blue colored plate. What's the difference of those?
So those are kilos. Those are calibrated plates that we use in powerlifting competitions. Those are actually certified to be that weight. So 45s, 35s, 25s steel can all, and in our reality can be off by a little bit, right? So the big red ones are 55 pounds. And those are certified that those are 55 pounds. So that way, when you go into competition, you have a certain amount of weight on the bar, you know for a fact that it's that weight. So that's why they have those. So that's a little more expensive than the normal steel weights that are around 45 pounds.
Gotcha. And you said powerlifting competition, so you host those pretty regularly, or tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we try to, like, I forgot how many we have so far, but I think it's like 13 that we've done. And we try to do like 2 or 3 a year. I've been doing it ever since. So we got into our first brick and mortar 2017. So at least a couple a year. We have the next one coming up December 2nd.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, again, and just getting to know you a little bit more, your gym used to be called something else, right? It used to be called Lock It Out Barbell.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now it's Brick by Brick.
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose behind the name change?
So, like I said before, I originally didn't realize that I was going to, I didn't know that I was going to get to this step. I just wanted to train people, make some money for my family, do what I needed to do. But as it grew, I saw that I could, my dreams and goals had shifted into building an empire as far as gym, but a different type of gym, the gym that I would want to be able to have people in for those reasons. So, Lock It Out Barbell was started while I was in my garage because lock it out, when you lock out the weight, when you lock out your arms, that's a powerlifting term. But I wasn't thinking about the umbrella of concept that people would understand as brick by brick would be, where that's like unified, like losing weight or any type of goal that you're trying to do brick by brick makes more sense.
Step by step
Yeah,
kind of way.
100%. So like that can encompass everybody. Lock It Out was a powerlifting. So I was powerlifting coaching people and weight loss, but it was mainly powerlifting. So I wasn't, and even the logo was just more directed towards powerlifting. As time going on and I evolved, that's when Brick by Brick was born. We went into the pandemic, and then we shut down. Then when the rebirth of the new location, that's when I had a name change.
That's cool. You know, it's interesting you said that because even with my coaching program, my coaching program is called Jose Savalza Real Estate Coaching. There's only so many people that know my name and know who I am. So now we're actually going through this rebranding phase right now. And I can't say the name right now, but we're going to be announcing it here very soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. But to your point, it encompasses everybody. Now it's everybody, you know what I mean? And it's a more general view versus it being just myself, because my coaching company is made up by several people, right? Several good, talented people. It's just not me. And again, my name can only go so far, or the terminology of me can only go so far. Just to your point, Lock It Out, maybe not a lot of people know what that means. So brick by brick kind of gives people a sense, if I go to the gym, I'm building something one step, one day at a time. So people call you the Beast. And obviously, if you see this massive man in front of me or to the next to me, people will know why they call you Beast. But interesting story that we were kind of talking about before we got started was that you weren't always this big. You were 145 pounds in high school. You wanted to play football, and all they limited you on was being a kicker, right? So what happened after that?
Well, I was an avid soccer player. I love soccer. That's my original first love. But I also wanted to play football. Just wasn't big enough to play any other position. But kicker, unless the coaches want me to play kicker, and so I got kind of upset about that. But I think stories that happened. I mean, not stories, but my life went on. And when I got out of high school, I kind of boycotted soccer. I didn't take school too seriously, which I should have. But when I graduated, I then joined the Marine Corps. And then I have an obsessive-compulsive personality. So when I want something or I like something, I consume my whole life on it. So I picked up a bodybuilding magazine when I first joined the Marine Corps, and it had Johnny Jackson on the front. And he was a big bodybuilder. And I was like, I want to look like him. So I researched everything I could on Johnny Jackson. And then I just started eating more and just blowing up. And my first duty station was Okinawa, Japan. So I was removed from my family, friends, and it's either you become a gamer, an alcoholic, or a gym rat, or a mixture of all three. So I just picked the gym rat, and then it was just like clockwork routine. Go to work, go to the gym, and then I just blew up from I actually gained weight in boot camp, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and then I went to Japan, and then I just went from 155 to over 200 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was all muscle.
Yeah, absolutely. because I still have to do PFT and do all the physical training as a Marine, but all I did was eat, sleep, and work out and go to work. So
Do you think that isolation
absolutely
helped out?
Absolutely. I think because if you're out, let's say I got stationed at Camp Pendleton or any other stateside location, I feel like the temptation to go out and club or parties and all the stuff that a lot of the Marines out here would be privy to versus over in Okinawa. It's just not that we weren't partying or drinking. It's just like there's more avenues of discipline out there than there is out here.
Gotcha.
You can go outside the gate and do whatever.
So speaking about discipline, and you train a lot of people here that have access to going out and drinking and having a good time. How do you keep people disciplined when you train them?
In what aspect?
In working out.
Okay.
In working out. Yeah.
So I try to be as realistic as possible. I feel like having somebody stick with it. First, they have to come in with some type of level of commitment to themselves. And I feel like a lot of people like to say that they want to do something, or I want to lose weight, I want to gain muscle, I want to do this and this. But it's more than just words. Like, so you have to have a self-commitment that we have to see as coaches before you even step in. Because otherwise, it's just a waste of both of our times. You know what I'm saying? So talking to them realistically, and I'm the type, like, personal trainer, I take personal serious. I want to get to know you, your family, what you like to do, on the level of you can trust me. So, like, that way, when I start giving you a plan and a program, you're trusting my word, right? So, like, that creates some type of connection, and you'll be able to roll with that forward. So you're not only going to disappoint yourself, you're going to disappoint me. And I feel like when I have somebody that, my coach, I don't want to disappoint him. You know what I'm saying? So he's giving me his time, so I want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
That you respect that time.
Absolutely.
You know, I love when you said that because, again, you're a coach. You train people to be healthier, stronger, feel better. And I coach people from a production standpoint or their business. And I do the same thing, too. I want to get to know them so that I can build that connection and that trust. There's almost like levels of vulnerability that has to be given on both sides so that person can become better. I love when you said that. So, how many people do you train right now? Like, or how many people are go to your gym?
Right now I have about 350 members.
That's awesome.
And then I have it fluctuates. I have about like 15, 16 clients right now.
Okay.
I've had as many as 40. Like I just when I would just say yes, I want to train, and it was about making money, and it was about like just spending my time being a coach. But then I feel like as the gym progressed and my plate started getting loaded, I just kind of want to pull off of that and start focusing on people I want to train and other business ventures, like building the gym and the clothing line and doing other stuff that I don't want to do.
Gotcha.
And also Cornerstone.
Gotcha. You know, and Cornerstone, which is a perfect segue into what I want to get into next. So, as I was going into the gym, I would see obviously your posts. I see your posts, and I see obviously marketing on Cornerstone. And as I was getting to know you, obviously you're a combat veteran. You've seen war. You've seen some probably really crazy things in your life being in military, and all that has probably created some thoughts, some crazy thoughts within you. Do you mind sharing how Cornerstone was put together? And so our audience knows Cornerstone is a mental health group that gets together a couple times out of the week, right? And it's an area where people feel safe in just venting. Is that the right word
Absolutely.
to use?
Yeah.
So can you tell our audience exactly how it got started and what's the mission or what's the objective of it?
This is kind of a evolving situation or evolving class. I like I said before, I told you off camera, like I've had I had a really difficult time transitioning back to being a civilian after the Marine Corps. Like I didn't really have I had a childhood. I mean, I wouldn't say it's good or bad, but it had its difficulties.
Different, yeah, it was different.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has it worse, you know what I mean? But so moving into that, I feel like as I got into the Marine Corps, coupled with some things from my childhood, I had a really hard time. So like it created some thoughts, like you said, and I didn't know how to handle that. And as in the Marine Corps, they breed you to, like I say breed, but they make you try to take out the weakness and kind of overlook it. There's no real sensitivity to mental health when it comes to that. So that can prevent more toxic thoughts on, this is something I shouldn't be putting attention towards. And so when I moved forward and got out of Marine Corps, like I went through some suicidal times, suicidal thoughts, some pretty bad depression, and looking at the aspect of my life or that time in my life, I didn't know how I was gonna make it out of it. You know, I was going through divorce at the same time. I was in a new relationship, but I just didn't know how to even express to this woman like how to help me, 'cause I didn't know what to do. So going through all that, and also serving with some military, with some other Marines. Unfortunately, I have too many people that I know have taken their own life. And so, like, I felt like I wanted to do something in the back of my head. I just didn't know what, and to what level. And so, since when I started to, fitness has always been my therapy. So, like, it's always been something that's helped me kind of like purge some of those thoughts. It wouldn't take care of it, but it's a stress reliever.
Sure.
So that's where I ended up just being consumed by the fitness world and then turning it into something. That's why I was competing, because it had me put a goal in my head. I'm gonna compete at this state. I'm gonna work towards this, and boom. Then the next one, the next one, the next one, so forth. So when I spun this into a gym, and then I'm a very personable person. Like I feel like I want to get to know all my members and how they're feeling and stuff like that. I always ask people if they're good and what's going on. And so when that started happening, I feel like a lot more people started coming to me and telling me things. And now we're at a point where it's like, I'm in my office, if the door is open or whatever, they say, can they talk to you or whatever, they'll come upstairs. And I'm sitting here hearing all these stories of people. And then first person comes in, second person comes in, and then there's similar stories, right? So there's similar things that they're going through. And I'm in my head, I'm like, if I just put people in the same room, a lot of people can relate to some of the things that this person's talking about or if I'm talking about. But obviously the sensitivity of not wanting to expose yourself
Sure.
or be that vulnerable with a group of people. So I was talking to a friend who owns a gym, Helen. She's out in Oregon. She had brought the idea of possibly having like a group kind of a session with people. And then when she said that to me, it's over a year ago, it just clicked. And I was like, well, I should do that. And in the beginning, I thought, I didn't want it to be like an AA meeting or super formal with a pamphlet or whatever, but I did treat it like that in the first one. Some of my friends will probably know, but I dressed up and I was like, had this all scripted thing that I was going to say. But I think people craved the raw, uncut, informal, just a group of friends getting together and shooting the crap. You know what I mean? And just sitting in a circle and just talking. And I think as time progressed, it turned into that. And so now, and it was like, it started with 2 hours, now it's 3 hours, because we need so much time. We'll go around the room, we'll get some food together and stuff like that, and we'll just talk about life. You got these grown people from 20, 30, 40, 50-year-olds in there, 60-year-olds. We have 2 60-year-olds, just talking about relationships, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, just daily struggles. And it just opens you up. And you got these guys, big guys, tatted up, you know what I'm saying? And you got these girls, all shapes and sizes, ethnicities, white, black, Asian, whatever. They show up, and the difference is you have a room full of people that actually care and want to listen. So you don't even have to talk. You can just show in there and feel people's pain, feel people's experiences as they're saying it. There's tears shed, there's laughs. But you feel it. It's not like they're forced to be there on a Sunday or a Wednesday. Like, you're there and you show up and you just give your time and you give your energy to everybody in the room, which is really dope.
That's a beautiful description of what you just said. I think, going back and just processing everything that you said, the military I'll use the word programs people to be a certain way, right? Don't show weakness.
Yeah, yeah.
And in some cases, and I think I can speak for myself, being a Hispanic male, we go through a similar upbringing as well. You can't cry, you shouldn't cry, or you're this, right? Men don't cry, things like that, right? So you wake up, you kind of go through life with these stigmas.
Yeah.
And because I know I did. Honestly, I'll be very vulnerable here. I can't remember the last time I did cry. And I don't think that's a good thing. Because I know I go through emotions. I just don't know how to process them correctly because for a long, long time, I was told men don't cry.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So again, when I saw that you host these meetings or these sessions where how you just described, people are just able to be themselves. They're able to be authentic. They're able to be vulnerable and transparent where maybe in other areas of their life, they're guarded.
Yeah.
And because we're guarded so much time, it's like unnecessary stress to our bodies, right?
Yeah.
And to our minds. So it's an area where people can just relax.
Yeah.
And 2-3 hours seems like it just goes fast because it does.
Yeah.
Because people are just themselves.
Well, and I will say this: I feel like a lot of people come in as the heads of the household, or they have to be strong. Excuse me. They have to be strong as far as being an independent woman or whatever they feel like they have to be. Strong and not let their guard down. And so when you come in there, you strip that off, right? And then you start seeing how it starts affecting people in a way where like they can. How do you really feel? Don't give me the robot answer. Like, oh, I'm good, because we mask that, right? I do that as well. If somebody asks you how you doing, I'm good. Because either A, you just don't want to go into it, or you just want to become vulnerable, or you feel like they don't care. There's a slew of different answers or reasons why you wouldn't sit there and actually answer the question honestly.
Yeah, well, I think society has also taught us, or even like all the social media platforms, is that we're always trying to be something or be someone that in reality most of us aren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The cars, the watches, the homes, the business, this and that. But in reality, and I can tell you, I'm just a normal guy who loves his family and is trying to figure out a way to spend more time with them because time is very, very precious and I can't buy back time. I can try to get back time by putting people in place where it just gives me more time out of my day. But I think if people just were true to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there'd be less stress, number one. Number two, I think people would, one other thing I wanted to say really quickly was I think people mask their emotions because they're afraid of someone using it against them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. This what you're doing is awesome. That's why I wanted to invite you here because I wish more people would take advantage of the resources that are available to them. And where is your gym located, or how do they, if they wanted to participate in this group, how would they go about it?
So I'm located. Brick by Brick is located in Palmdale, kind of by Lucky Luke's, and it's tucked away in an industrial park. You can go online. Our main source right now is Instagram. So Brick by Brick headquarters on Instagram. But our website is being reconstructed, so we'll be able to go through that. We were just really undercover a lot, honestly, during COVID, and just never came back out from underneath that. We just kind of like wanted to be super private and low key.
Well, I think that works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that works for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I found you.
Yeah.
I found you through a referral, a friend of mine.
And it's a vouching system. So like I feel like the members like the exclusivity of that. So like you have to know somebody to know somebody, and that helps me being a 24-hour gym. That like we don't just have some randoms in there for the women that's in there at late at night or anybody like my equipment. I'm not saying everyone's gonna steal my equipment, but I just know that if you refer somebody and somebody takes that serious, there's a better vetting system than just some random person who wants to.
That's going to pay you X amount of. It's not about the money. It's much more than that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's. I've been going there for the last year. As you can see, I'm wearing the apparel,
Represent.
Brick by Brick, right? And I wear it proudly. You know what I mean?
appreciate
And again, I think you do an outstanding job in just making people feel welcome. Number one, at home. Number two, and you have a great group of people. Like I said, I know a couple of them, and I usually when I'm there, I have my headphones on and I'm just, doing what I got to do. But I know I feel comfortable if I ask, hey, Lenny, help me out with a spot. He'll stop what he's doing
Yeah.
and he'll come help me out, which he
Yeah.
has in the past. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So that's an awesome environment. But what about the Cornerstone? If people wanted to get in touch with you with Cornerstone because they are looking for an environment to kind of, again, just purge, all this emotion, how do they get a hold of you there?
So we originally started as just for members because I wanted people to feel like I feel like I wanted people to know that the gym is more than just physical fitness. I've never seen any gyms actually care about mental health. I mean, you can go in the gym and lift as much as you want, get as big as you want, or as cut up. But if your mental's not there, like none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? Because you got big guys or very lean women that are committing suicide. You know what I mean? That it's one of those things where mental health is important, if not the most important thing. And I feel like as a gym and as a person, I feel like I just want to make sure that the people around me have some type of facility or place, a resource to have some mental health clarity. So it started off as just for members, and it blew up more than I anticipated. So now I've had some outside interests that wanted to be able to come in. I've let a few in, but I think I want to eventually soon be able to open up maybe once a month outside where just anybody, and maybe at a different location. But I kind of like if the members having a place and just keeping that and not diluting that with us outside. And so having a separate one, because I do want to help other people. I don't want to say, no, you can't come get mental health. I just think that I want to create a different place and structure for that. And so I'll definitely give details when that comes up.
And this just really started about a year ago, you said, right? Something like that?
Yes, yeah. We're on 38th one. It's going to be this Wednesday. So about it started out once a month, and then we went to twice a month, and it started 2 hours, went to 3 hours. So it's expanding.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard this, David, but I'm going to tell you just by hearing, everything that you've shared with everybody here today, I think you have a gift.
I appreciate that, sir.
And every circumstance that you've gone through in your life has prepared you for this gift. And again, I may not be the first to tell you, but I think that the more you're able to share your gift with people, I think people will, number one, be able to fulfill their gifts. So I think you're just a facilitator to that, which is not a lot of people have that. You're a bridge to someone else's happiness, because unfortunately we live in a very, very fucked up world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I hate to cuss, but that's the reality.
We can swear. We can swear.
We can swear. We can swear. It'll be edited out later. Okay. But we live. This is actually the first time I've actually felt the need to do it. But we do. We live in a very, very chaotic world where we're in fear of war. We got an unstable economy. We have presidential elections that are happening, in the near future, amongst a bunch of other things, and we don't have outlets. We have all this negativity coming towards us, and we don't have a lot of areas where we can just purge all that negativity.
Yeah.
And what you're doing, open the doors to its members and make them feel comfortable and confident that, hey, we're just going to talk and just let it out. And I think that's just a beautiful gift that you have. And I think you need to continue to explore that. I think your blessing is to bless thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and you just starting a year ago is just the beginning for you.
I really appreciate that, sir.
Absolutely. My pleasure. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for, again, your attention and your time on the Making an Impact podcast. If you want to follow David, what's your Instagram?
David the Beast Douglas.
David the Beast Douglas, or the Brick by Brick is...
Brick by Brick headquarters.
Brick by Brick headquarters.
And Cornerstone Mental Health Workshop we got on there too.
So check them all out. David, the Beast, Brick by Brick, and Cornerstone Health. Check them all out on Instagram. Guys, give it up to this gentleman. Very, very classy. Thank you again for your time, David. Thank you again for your attention. Please subscribe. Share this with someone that you care about. If they have some issues with mental health that that maybe a more intimate place would be helpful for them, please make sure you hit up this guy, okay? With that said, take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.